Hey guys, welcome to Fior's Fishing. Hope you guys are having a good day. Just had our first snowfall here in Virginia. It's the end of January, and you know what that means. We're going to be getting into the pre-spawn. A lot of people are thinking, oh man, January, February is still winter. Yes, but what I have come to find out in my past 40 days of fishing this winter is that the fish are starting to move. Definitely is a feeding pattern that is going on that I think I have figured out, and I believe those bigger fish are the fish that feed first, and then eventually it goes to the smaller fish and the male fish, because I was catching my bigger fish about 4 weeks ago, and now it's slowly dwindled down in size and become down to smaller fish, which is telling me the bigger females are moving and starting to get in that time of the year where they're going to be getting up, trying to get up shallow and start getting ready to spawn here in the next 2 months, 3 months. So those bigger bass around here in Virginia definitely do their spawning, and March, April, and then May, they're usually those biggest ones are already done. But anyways, we're going to be looking here at this lake, John H. Kerr Reservoir, and I'm going to show you how I would go about breaking it down. This lake is also known as Bugs Island. A few things to know about this lake is that it is a water flood control lake, and basically it keeps the water level here at Gaston from getting too high. They use this to hold back the water from filling up Gaston. Gaston has fixed docks, so this is a flooded lake that will flood and then fluctuate in height from anywhere from, I've seen it down 13 feet to up 8 feet. But again, they will flood this lake usually in the spring and allow for bass to be able to get up and all the buckbrush and everything along the bank to spawn. But here we go. Let's go ahead and break this down. Just take a sip of water real quick. Okay. So here what we're looking for basically when I'm coming, if I was coming to this lake, I'm going to be looking for deep water and basically a big creek arm. And why am I looking for deep water? Well, because in deep water in the wintertime, that's going to hold the most fish. You're going to have your highest population of fish in these bigger creek arms with the deep water. And a lot of you guys are probably thinking, oh, well, why do you care about what's going to hold the highest population of fish in the wintertime? Well, because these fish aren't going to have to move far to go and spawn. And now what I am going to tell you is fish move a ton. A lot of people are like, oh, these fish are just here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it depends on the lake, a lot of things like that. But I mean, I've chased fish now with the forward-facing sonar. I've chased a fish 300 yards in the matter of 2 minutes. Trolling them on high and can't even keep up with them, especially in the fall time. But anyways, so get back to what we were talking about here is we're looking for deep water, big creek arm, high population of fish. I really like these longer fingers. I think these are big areas where fish will funnel into and spawn. So again, I would be focusing along anywhere from, I mean, literally you can year round you can focus anywhere from 1 to as deep as you want. Fish are throughout the water column, and that's what makes it harder to catch them in the winter time, because there's honestly fish everywhere. They're still scattered out. I mean, you get majority of them out there roaming around, suspended. Not so many shallow, but they're still scattered. But this is a time of the year though where these fish are going to start getting kind of grouped up. And when I say grouped up, I don't mean like a school of fish here, I just mean majority is going to be like going to when kids go back to school. You're going to start seeing kids over here at the bus stop. You're going to start seeing kids around the school over here. Summertime's coming. You're going to start seeing a lot of people hanging out at the mall. People going to the movies, going to the parks. So you got to look at it the same way as that. Basically, you're going to have your fish that are going to be coming up, hanging out over here. You're going to have some that have made their way back in here, want to hang out by the picnic table and everything, and go shoot basketball over here at the basketball court. And so you got your deep water, you got your big fingers, and basically you're going to have your higher population of fish. And also here, like in Eastland Creek, you're going to have these areas back in here, big spawning areas. I mean, you can zoom out, and it's a great tool. Being able to zoom in and zoom out, you can basically train your eyes to go blue, 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 a lot of blue, especially up in here, a lot of blue. A lot of people come fish up in here. It's shallow. This will also be a good place to go fish. A bunch of areas for bass to move and spawn. This is where a lot of fish are going to move to, these types of areas. So it's pretty simple to break down. You're basically eliminating water. You can already see I haven't even looked over here for you guys. This is just as important as finding where you want to fish is finding where you don't want to fish. The more water you can eliminate, the more time you can focus on fishing what is productive water. And again, I mean, it's just a quick little tool. You eventually will get used to being able to zoom out and you'll see blue, blue, blue. And depending upon the time of the year, you will know, hey, it's say it's wintertime. I can zoom in. I can say, well, I'm going to eliminate this. I'm going to eliminate this in the wintertime. And I'm going to come over here in the wintertime and I'm going to start focusing on things like this. Points, rock pile here on the point here, tip of the point comes out here, a road bed here that comes out, things that touch the main channel. So with it being pre-spawn, I can focus on, okay, these fish are going to be moving out away from here. They're going to start feeding back into these areas, trying to get shallow, setting up on these little secondary points here. I mean, you could idle these points and just look for fish, and then if you mark them, turn and cast. But it's pretty simple. I don't like to overcomplicate things when it comes down to breaking a lake. I know you can zoom out and look at this and get overwhelmed and be like, oh, well, where am I gonna, where do I start? Well, the best place to start is by eliminating, and then it really helps you narrow in on what you want to fish. So again, I mean, there's gonna be fish living here in Eastland year round. I mean, all year, from winter to winter, summer to summer, however you want to look at it. You got the deep water, you're gonna have points, like here's a good one here. Here's a point that comes out. I like to call these little tabletops. People call them humps. I call that more of a hump, and I call that more of a tabletop. You got a tabletop here and there. They come out and they touch this main channel, and these are going to be good places to fish, especially if you can side scan it and find some structure on it. You can put a little waypoint and throw something over there. I mean, you're going to be able to idle these spots, see fish. Now with forward-facing sonar, you should be able to zoom over there and look and see if there are fish there. But again, you got your hump and you got your little tabletop. These are where they're going to stage up to start getting ready to spawn. They're going to feed up here. They've already been feeding up. They've been feeding up all winter. And but again, they will stage up here. Let me get a sip. They'll stage up here on this little tabletop, They'll come and cruise around these points, these little steeper ledges. They're almost like underwater bluffs, these little steeper ledges, and it's a good place for them to pin up bait. They can be sitting out here and pin the bait up against this little, it's almost like a wall, like I said, like an underwater bluff, little channel swing bluff wall here underneath the water. That would be good. They would stage up here and feed before moving on back into here to start spawning around this stuff. And once this floods, if it does come up this year, so sometimes we don't get the rain and they can't really bring it up, they basically, they'll be able to spawn anywhere along all this buckbrush, trees, rocks. You're going to have rocks and everything. It's a red clay lake, and there's more down towards the main lake is where you start getting the different types of rock, chunk rock. Same with upriver. It's more like mid lake where you get that red clay. But again, there's going to be areas from the spawn all over. So you're looking for areas that are going to have high populations of fish. You're looking for high populations to maximize your fish catching. If you're going to be, you don't want to be fishing in areas where there aren't any fish. But again, that's just a simple way I go about breaking down a lake. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Eliminate the water you don't want to fish, that there's not going to be a high population of fish. Focus on the area that has a population of fish, and then just go to the next step of finding those little transition points, little things like that, like these little bluff, steep things. And then eventually, where do they want to end up? They want to end up on the bank over here, back in these coves. So to get there, they have to come through here. So you got to find those little stopping points, like here, here, here. They'll stage up, and of course they're always cruising. They're always out here roaming and cruising. But again, it's just a high percentage areas and just narrowing down your search. It's eliminating water till you've got nothing left but the productive water. But again, guys, thanks for listening to this video. I hope it helps. Any other videos you want to see, just let me know. And stay tuned. Be pumping out something here in the near future. Basically, I want to talk about debunking some myths that we as fishermen thought we knew until we got this forward-facing sonar. So that'll be an interesting video. You're gonna either hate me with it, you're gonna You're either going to hate me or you're going to like it, but it's what I've discovered and what I find to be the truth. And what I've learned in fishing is if you can't be certain about it yourself, then how do you really have the confidence to make decisions on the water? But stay tuned. I'll see you guys in a little bit.